Xperia XZ2 has a problem, and Sony can't do anything to fix it. Sony Xperia XZ2 is now available to buy in the UK. The smartphone was announced at a press conference during the 2018 Mobile World Congress trade show in Barcelona, back in February. The latest Sony handset boasts a top-of-the-line Qualcomm Snapdragon 845 chipset, Qi wireless charging, and 4K HDR video recording, a first for the smartphone market. However, despite all of these brilliant new additions, the Sony Xperia XZ2 includes an unforgivable problem. And worst of all, Sony can do nothing to fix it. The Sony Xperia XZ2 has one of the most nonsensical fingerprint scanner placements ever shipped on a smartphone. Compared to the Xperia XZ2, the widely panned fingerprint sensor on the Galaxy S8 and Galaxy S8 Plus looks like an ingenious piece of design. In our review, Express.co.uk technology editor David Snelling said it was possibly the worst design decision we have ever seen. Now, there is nothing intrinsically wrong with having the fingerprint scanner on the back of the phone. In fact, for many it's the preferred place, since your finger naturally rests there when holding the smartphone. However, Sony's design team have not placed the fingerprint scanner where your finger naturally rests. Instead, they have placed the scanner much, much lower. And in a baffling move, the Xperia XZ2 design team has placed the camera lens where most other manufacturers would put their rear-mounted fingerprint sensor. Given how many times you unlock your smartphone each day, this placement soon graduates from a mild irritation to a outright deal breaker. Also, there is still a substantial chin beneath the display on the front of the Xperia XZ2 which could easily house the scanner, which only makes it more annoying each time you blindly tap your digit on the camera lens. Unlike the Galaxy S8, the Xperia XZ2 doesn't offer users an alternative method of unlocking their handset, with no iris or facial recognition included. That means Xperia XZ2 owners are reliant on the fingerprint scanner to quickly unlock their smartphone. Granted, they can manually type in a PIN, password or draw a pattern on the display to unlock the device, as with all Android smartphones. We can't tell you how many times we have tried to unlock the phone by popping our finger right on the camera, which is hugely irritating and also leaves a greasy mess all over it, we wrote in our Xperia XZ2 review. It's a very odd decision from Sony and one that's hard to forgive them for. How nobody at Sony realized that it's in totally the wrong place is beyond us. And it's only Express.co.uk that has flagged up this egregious piece of design. TechRadar notes in its review, Sony has made quite a major mistake when it comes to the placement of the scanner. It's far too low down on the rear of the phone. You'll find when you come to use the scanner that your forefinger lands naturally on the camera above it instead. We lost count of the number of times we tapped the camera thinking it was the digit reader, even when we made a conscious effort to bend our finger to hit the scanner, we'd still hit the camera and on occasion. Engadget makes a similar criticism, noting the whole point of a back-mounted sensor is that your fingertip naturally falls on it. Instead, I catch myself pawing at the camera glass as the reader rejects random finger flesh. Pocket Lens adds that fingerprint scanner is in a bit of a weird place, sitting a long way down the body of the phone, so it doesn't feel as natural to use as the higher placement that's common on devices, like the Google Pixel 2 XL, for example. It's a real shame, as otherwise, there's really a lot to like about the Sony Xperia XZ2. The latest Sony Xperia has a beautiful new design, powerful flagship specs, and a stunning display. It's also worth noting that Sony already had a brilliant solution to quickly and conveniently unlock their smartphones. Previous hardware, including the predecessor to the XPERIA XZ2, had the fingerprint scanner embedded in the side-mounted power button. Express.co.uk talked to Sony about the decision to move the fingerprint scanner to the back of the phone. When asked about the design change, a representative for the company explained, "The fingerprint sensor position is based on the philosophy to achieve the most efficient position for smooth unlock. With our new rounded curvature design, it was felt the back as a more natural position. Just after you hold up the smartphone, both wake up and fingerprint certification will be done." The new position is also based on where the index finger will be when naturally holding the smartphone. With this position, users do not need to change the holding position between operation and unlock. Additionally, the symmetrical layout allows you to use both left, right hand,